Now this is why we have a teaching. Because it is only through new gaining of knowledge, it is only through receiving a new idea that a new mind can be formed in you. We don't just take on a new mind because we said so. We have to accept a new way of thinking that comes with a new body of knowledge. So when people come and say, well, I never heard anything like that before with what y'all teaching, that's how you know you're in the right place. Because the old knowledge and the old thinking hasn't been doing the job. So we have to come somewhere where there's a new word being given, a new knowledge being given, that we can come into a new mind and a new life and come into a new reality.
That's right. Go ahead.
That is why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't just set up temples, but he set up schools to teach the children.
Yes, sir.
He set up businesses and things that would give us a new reality in which to exist, that a new idea would be implanted in the mind. Because it is only when the mind is renewed that Paul said you would be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So if we, of course, as happened, take away the teaching, that is to give us the mind to make us new men and new women, then of course everything falls apart.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Because the very essence of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was and is seeking to do for us is to grow us to our full potential.
That's right.
Grow us to our full potential. You haven't seen the best of yourself yet.
That's right.
We have some good days here and there, but you have not seen the divinity of yourself fully manifested. You have not seen the power of who you really are fully manifested, but this teaching is to remind you of who you really are.
That's right.
That you can begin taking steps to become
That's right.
your true self.
Yes, sir.
So the minister said that in the Quran it reminds us that we are made of a single essence, male and female. And if there is a man and a woman made of a single essence, that single essence can only be God himself. That if we are from God and he is the essence of our being, then all we have to do is be taught and trained in the right way. And we will become the full manifestation of God in man and woman.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And that's not just big talk, that's real talk.
That's right.
Because it
That's
says that we are made in his image and his likeness.
That's right. That's
And if we're made in his image and his likeness, that's not just telling you you got a nose like him and your eyes are like him and your ears are like his.
Come on, teach.
But it's to tell you that within you is the very potential to be like him.
right.
A man and woman of force and power.
Yes, sir.
So we have to come somewhere eventually that will make us into ourselves. Despite what we have become in this world. Despite what this world has pulled us down into, we can yet rise to be our true self.
That's right.
But in the process of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad doing this work, it all fell apart at a certain point after he departed, because the very teaching that was pointing us in that direction was done away with.
Yes, sir.
But we can look at history, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, is best qualified to reward our research. And we can look at how we failed, and then see how we can rise in such way that we never fall again. Because if you're walking and you see someone stumble, the minister said, don't laugh, but learn.
That's right. That's right.
Because in their falling and their stumbling, if we laugh or we dismiss it or we say, well, that was them, then he said we miss out on the very thing that could keep us from falling as well.
That's right. That's right. Teach.
Because we have ignored a key to being able to stay standing. But if, brothers and sisters, we acknowledge that we all, in our own personal lives, stumble at times and even fall, all of us,
Yes, sir. All of them.
then we have to be constantly seeking a ways of rising up better,
Yes, sir.
so that we can never fall again. We don't ever rise up intending to fall again,
Come on. Right.
Right.
but we should understand that in this life, in Satan's world, that is meant to trip you up. That is meant to have you tripping.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead. Fear.
As many times as a people, we are people that are known for tripping.
Facts.
That's right. That's right.
when I was coming up, that was the one thing you did not say to mom.
That's right. No, don't say
You tripping. That was the quickest way to get it.
That's right.
You can say a lot of things, but don't say that. Judgment. Because when we trip up or when we're falling, that is to say that there is some impediment in our motion.
Yes.
There's something that we did not see.
Yes.
It means that sometimes it means that you're walking and not paying attention,
That's right.
not watching your steps.
That's right.
But so it says in the Psalms that the man whose steps are ordered by the Lord,
Come on.
that's a rightly guided man.
Yes.
That's a rightly guided woman, one whose steps are ordered by God.
Come on, teach.
And the one who is in the protection of God, it says that God would make his angels to be with his servant, that they would bear him up, that he would not strike his feet against the stone.
Come on.
That they would protect you and keep you from falling.
Yes.
When you're in his hands and your life is ordered by him.
Yes.
So we want to be the kind of men and women that are in his care and in his hands, whose life is ordered by him, that we can stop tripping and start walking aright.
That's right. Good teaching.
We are a people all together that have fallen from our original place and state with God.
That's right. That's right.
We are not what we used to be.
Not at all.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we're not even a good picture of what we used to be. He said the black man and woman that you see today is not an example of the original black man and woman.
No, sir.
Even the Greeks would tell you, they say that the ones that they learned math and science from, the ones they learned medicine from and engineering from, they were not Negroes. They said that we had to go to the valley of the gods
Come on.
in Egypt, your mothers and fathers, that built things to this day. They don't know how it was built. So they just call the pyramids a wonder.
Right.
Because they wonder how these Negroes do that.
Come on. Good teaching.
We're not what we used to be is the point. And so the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we must now be resurrected. We must be resurrected, or we must rise again to our original place and state with God as his vicegerent, as his Khalifa,
Yes.
as those who exercise force and power first over yourself and then over that which surrounds us.
Yes, sir.
But we can't hope to get there until we first gain some self-control.
That's right. That's right. Talk about it.
Our hope, though, is that as we grow into self-control and ultimately self-mastery, that we come back to ourselves in such a way that we never fall again. That we don't take the step forward and then lose the progress.
Yes.
And this happens at times, but when it happens, it is meant for us to learn in such a way that it never happens again.
That's right.
That is the goal. Is that right?
That's right. That's the goal.
You don't shoot the basketball aiming to miss.
Come on.
And we don't enter any contest aiming to lose.
That's right.
And we did not come along this path in life to lose in the race of life.
That's right. That's
So we
right.
must try to learn from every mistake and every stumble and every fall so that we can be the victors in the end.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
That's right. Go ahead. Good teaching.
The minister said that it is troubling times in life that make us who and what we are.
Yes.
But he said to seek assistance through patience and prayer,
Yes.
and you will find that your troubles will diminish.
Yes, sir.
This has to be included because anytime we have a fall or a stumble, that's a troubling time.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Anytime that we have a mistake that comes up in life, that is a troubling time. But the minister is telling us the way through that,
Yes, sir.
to seek assistance through patience and prayer.